Hello everyone. This is Charlie, aka Brazen, aka Golden God. I am going to be streaming the second game of OCS Top 16 versus TacoBill versus Harrison-Trainor. Looks like we got Yoda Communing versus Hunt Down V. What are you doing? Okay, so I'm gonna just make sure I get the chat up really quick. This is going to be a very interactive game, I believe. Oh, my mic isn't plugged in. See, that's why I wanted that up. A bit disheveled today. All right. There's like 2 people in here currently. I think I'm one of them. Alright, hopefully that's working now for sound. Hello people. Cool. Hey Steve. I'm gonna get pop out chat for this. Alright. Update this. Alright. So we got Hunt Down V versus Yoda Communing. If anyone has issues with the stream, let me know just so I can fix it. The sound quality might not be the best, but that's what I got. So that was the first turn from Bill. Looks like he pulled us the site and the system with Crush the Rebellion and didn't deploy anything, which seems correct. The only thing, I guess going into this, you see we're leaving, you see Saitor and Walkling. You know, you don't know yet if he's playing Luke in space or he's playing Luke on the ground, the Last Jedi. So if you do have, I guess you start with only 5 Force too, so you can't pull Vader. So you could potentially like put let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 Force, 4 Force. So you could potentially put down an Inquisitor so you can block like Luke getting deployed turn 1. It's not a great play, I think. Usually when you're playing mains versus mains, you want to draw, you want a hand, you want answers, you want tricks, you want You're Beaten, Clash, Sorry About the Mess combo, Sniper combo. Yeah. It usually comes down to 1 or 2 big battles. And a lot of times, if they're early battles, whoever draws the best. So he is using Master Yoda, so we might see Communing here, or Camino. They both pulled Tragedy and allegations. Grabbers are out. I think we'll see Camino, but you never know. Could be the 2-2. Sorry, the 2-2 as in the Naboo Heat Palace Generator. But that is a Camino. And he took a long time to deploy that, so I wonder if he was looking either to see if there was a stick in there or to see if he should drop or something. I think key cards are going to be like Luke, if it's Space Luke, which I think it's going to be Space Luke. But we don't know yet. The thing about playing Camino is that you need ways to protect the system, and if you only have Han Chewie and the Falcon, generally you're not going to protect it, so it's just not enough. But this is a very efficient start. I'm hoping they do something to maybe nerf Yoda Communing, because I think it's a little too strong. I think it was a little too strong going into the tournament, but it's just really efficient, and the -2 attrition is incredibly strong, especially in space. So he pulls 3PO. That's good. Getting that turn 1. Ideally, you want it out turn 1, but it's very helpful, especially if you're playing a lot of R2 and Red 5s, as we saw people playing. I think Bill was playing that at Worlds. And he lost Master Luke from reserve deck. Interesting. And a Vader's Anger's gone. I believe he probably plays 2 Vader's Anger in this deck. I'm gonna wager he's playing Vader V, the new one, and a couple Vader's Angers, because you can kind of just like loop them. Awesome. Nice to see you, Chris. Yeah, yeah, the space thing. Yep. You don't want to see things get too hit, but I think just toning it down a little would be great, because it's a cool deck. And also, I have an AI of Yoda's hut that I always want to be able to play. So if you make it unplayable, then what's the point of my AI? Okay, Vader's coming down with the stick, with the Mustafar pull, the Vader's Castle pull. I imagine he's gonna just move Vader over, save some force, and flip. Do or not comes out. I think he probably plays a couple senses in his deck. I don't think Matt plays any senses in his deck. So we do see do or do not. And he sets up a drain of 3. I know quite a bit about this Hunt on V deck. Our team talked about it a lot, and quite a few people played it at Worlds. And I don't think there's 2 battleground sites in it. So this is about it, minus I think a bridge for sites. And He's cool. I like Crush the Rebellion. It's a pretty tricky thing to balance, I think, with a mains deck. The one thing about Devastator is that, like, who do you put on it? And it does become very vulnerable if it's not at the system. So we decided it's not even really worth playing Devastator. Even though you can download it. I mean, you could, like, draw on its own, I guess. But, like, if you're playing a bunch of Inquisitors, it feels kind of bad to, like, dedicate an Inquisitor just to the Devastator. And it's expensive. It's, like, it's still 4 plus a guy on it. Yeah. So I think there's, like, 2 Emperor Shuttles, 2 Tarkins, and 3 Emperor Palpatines. If it's anything like the list from Worlds, that's a space package. I do love that Hunt on V puts out, like you can turn 1 put out a threat of 3. I do like that in terms of, like, even though the game becomes mid-game very quickly because of activation, like how easy it is to, like, poop a bunch of activation on the table and then all of a sudden it's mid-game, and, like, it really kind of negates any sort of, like, early aggression deck because you can just, you're already activated enough to, like, counter that. So it is nice to have a deck that can go super fast, but I still think it has, like, flaws in the meta because of how fast activation can come out. So we see Anakin and Rey come down against Vader. So this is pretty strong against Vader because he doesn't get that extra boost in immunity, which is 7 with a Jedi. At the same time, I think Bill's okay with it because, like, you have 3 Vaders, you know, like, Vader's going to be able to upload a parry if he needs it. We'll play the Vader's Anger and potentially kill both of them with a swing. I feel like he's got to have something else going on here. Like, he pulls Weapon of the Sith. That's smart. I think that's a good decision in a mains matchup. Is it mains, this Yoda mini? I think it kind of is. Just really efficient cards in Yoda Communing. But is this trade worth it? I don't know if it is for Matt. I'm not sure that trading two characters for Vader is worth it. And I think you always have to consider that when you're playing mains v mains. Like, you have to consider that usually you want to trade 1 for 1. Like, unless you're trying to do extra battle damage, you want to trade 1 for 1. So this, for me, doesn't seem necessarily worth it. You does get the added +1 to Destinies, +1 to total. So that's good. Looks like he's just going to sit in front of him. Which keeps relieving active, which is good. Now what do you do as Bill here? I think at this point you're definitely going to want to put, so, like, he had a Force Push in his hand, so he was protected, right? If he parries, or if he hits someone and has a force field, and then he can Force Push out. But, like, an Inquisitor is good because you need an Inquisitor at this point to activate a lot of what's going on in your deck, like the +1 destinies, stacking cards, cancel text, and also if you do put an Inquisitor with Vader, it basically turns his whole text off, like all of his text off, right? Like he gets immunity, but besides that, like he needs to be alone and a Bowser's Initiate to use these things, and he does get the opponent's non-Jedi characters here at power 1 for the next one, which is nice. I think potentially this is a bait to get an overcommitment from Bill, so then he puts out his 2/2 and puts like Mace or Qui-Gon there. Probably Qui-Gon ideally. Alright, Cat. What's up? This is Peanut. Disarmed. Brutal. And but you know, like disarm's not that bad, honestly. Like it's annoying, but they'll probably die and come back again. I think there's two. I think we decided on 2 Mara Jades in this. So like, cause you have 1 extra stick, but it's vulnerable, and then it's gone forever when it dies. So you need like another way besides attrition to clear stuff. So the second Mara Jade helps with that, which I think we'll see. But she 9th sister, so there's an Inquisitor, so you can start stacking stuff. Which is just nice to have damage. He stacks Vader's lightsaber. Is it the top card or is it any card? Top card lost by, yeah. Well, that would be unfortunate if he never kills Anakin and it's stuck on him for the rest of the game. That would be unfortunate. I guess he doesn't have a choice, though. He loses a barrier from hand because Blaster Control is out. Makes sense. Here goes Mara Jade. Now he's double his power. Ray draws the bottom. He must have known what that was. Peek at top card, and he does not move it. So he did not. I wasn't paying attention enough to know if he knew it earlier, but so there's Mara swinging at Ray. This is nice because now he doesn't have to waste his stick. Dodge is bad. He needs to draw a 6 and a 5 to hit because it's -6. He could sense this if he has a sense. I think probably a smart sense, because you really want to hit Ray, right? Like you. Okay, so he does sense. You need to clear Anakin. And, like, Bill should probably be, well, he should probably play Coward. Like, that's, at this point, when you're playing mains versus mains, I would even pull at the beginning. I'd pull it right away, like, Coward. Because, like, it's main versus mains. If a stick dies, you do not want them to just go, oh, Yoda. Retrieve my stick, and then I can play Anakin or Rey and get it out of my deck right away. I imagine he'll play it. It doesn't seem like a thing Bill would forget, to be honest, but we'll see. We'll see if he remembers. On the world stage, people forget. People forget things. Going for Mara. Oh, there's a force field. That seems like the right grab. So he uses the force and he grabs it. Because, like, the entire deck is, besides Tarkin, is live for force fields. There's the Coward. Wisa to pull battle planes or boss dance chambers. pull his Bosnian streamers. Interesting he waited so long to do that. I guess he wanted to see if the -1 was relevant, but I'm not so sure I'd want, well, he force field, but I'm not so sure I want to draw 1 or 0 ever. Bill draws a 5, so 5 is a 7 because it's +1/+1. And we see a 6, which is a 7, which will kill Marjade or Vader. Vader's probably the right loss here, right? He's not doing much. And then if you lose Vader, you can redeploy him somewhere and get the stick back. So I think this fight went really well for Bill. I think the disarmed was nearly irrelevant. Like, it's hard to see a drain of 3 and be like, yeah, I'm okay with this, right? Like, but at the same time, I feel like maybe, and you wouldn't know in hindsight he has a blast for controls, maybe, but with a barrier, you'd want to like set something else up. I think the only reason he didn't like go to Camino or something is because he probably doesn't have anything to go to Camino yet. Alright. That is true. Right. So yeah, disarm saved the use of the effect. And I don't really see a situation where the disarmed isn't, like, I don't see a reason to save it, right? Like, you might as well play it. It just makes sense to play it there. And he did use the Mustafar pull, so like that's only once per game. So if he doesn't have another Vader in his hand, it's not like you're guaranteed he plays another Vader. There's only 2 more in his deck, so generally there's only 2 more. So the Chambers comes out, and I'm pretty sure that's all he has. Well, he has the 2/2. I think it's just this plus the generator is like what he has for sights. So we're looking at 31 minutes to 37. Matt's really thinking about this turn and what to do. Here comes Master Luke. Interesting. So he has 2 Master Lukes in the deck. No Anakin stick, so he does have. Interesting. That's a use for that, right? He pulls Anakin stick from Lost Pile, so he doesn't need to retrieve it. Bionic hand as well. Very cool. We don't know what's in his Lost Pile right now, but we can check this handy little log of everything that has been lost. So we can go lost. Oopsies. by much. Initiates a battle. Another dodge. Yeah, okay, so he exchanged for a dodge. Right. That's smart. Draws a 0 and a 2. So he will miss that swing. So now he has to draw a 6, which means a 5 to kill Luke. I highly doubt if he doesn't crack his attrition, he's going to... Oh, he draws a Mace for Destiny, swinging at Ninth Sister. And another Mace. Wow. So, like I was talking about previously, mains versus mains, notoriously comes down to early draws and who can draw the best. So he plays Far More Frightening Than Death to stack a card from Lost Pile onto Luke. And that will give him plus 1 more, plus 2, plus 2 to total. Ooh, he draws a 7. That still only kills March 8, but that's pretty good. So he draws a 3, and that's only plus 2, which will not crack Luke, because he's actually immune to plus 2. Yes, so hand adds 2 to power, 2 to immunity, making him effectively immune to 6, which makes him immune to 8 with Yoda's Hut. Which is pretty good. Matt loses Leia Rebel Princess from reserve deck, which I don't think will be relevant at all in this game because there's only one site, but I guess he could move over to the mall site. The Sith Temple Gateway. Which I feel like this should connect to Mustafar somehow, but I don't know. This is a pretty interesting strategy, having Master Luke with Bionic Hands. We've seen 2 Master Lukes and 2 Bionic Hands. You know, possibly has more Bionic Hands in his deck, I don't know. But it's a pretty powerful combination, I would say. Now, can he win by more than 13 if both players just keep throwing characters at each other? I don't know. Also, something to consider is that if he is playing Master Luke, he's not playing Luke in space. I don't think you'd play Luke in space at all if you're playing at least 2 Master Lukes and Bionic Hand. So, he's got extra weird space like Laser Resistance Transport, like we see right here. Which is one of the most efficient cards in the game, right? Like, if you don't have the shield out, it's 3 force for ship, ray, use pop hole, like 6 ability in space, 6 power. It's kind of nuts. Alright, so Bill stacks another card on Luke. And he allows him to cancel his game text, which is interesting because now he has no immunity. I think he has 0 immunity because he doesn't have immunity, and you can't add to immunity if you don't have immunity. I don't think you're inherently immune to 0. That would be bizarre. So immunity attrition R plus 2. So he's going to die. He's expecting him to die. He could dodge if it's in his hand, right? But he swapped for dodge and then played it, so he didn't need another dodge in hand. But yes, he could, right? Here's the bridge. So now they're equal on activation. That's helpful. There is Vader, Emperor's Enforcer. Yeah, he used to swap. So Enforcer comes out because I expect he's gonna fight with the sister and just clear him because he's not immune to anything. And then move over so he doesn't have to lose Vader. And that is not a Vader V. That's an Enforcer. So there's a 6 swinging at my sister and an. Okay, wow. With seeing levitation, I assume that's a levitation non-V. So that means he's trying to kill Silence is Golden, the used part. I don't think he's gonna. I doubt he has a start with the mascot though. So I think that he's going to clear. I think the site's going to clear. Swapping for a dodge, perhaps. At least I got a Grand Army for a dodge. I would be very tired of that card. Maybe you should have grabbed the dodge. Maybe he doesn't even play Blaster Deflection, he just plays dodge, because he knows you'll never grab dodge. You never know. Matt is peeking at Force Pile, just to see what's going on there. I'm really kind of confused on why he let his text be cancelled. Because, like, this is he would be alive now. Like, he would survive this, right? Maybe I'm missing something, but he could lose 2 here and not have to lose Luke. But if anyone sees something that I don't, I just can't imagine losing a Force was worth losing a character with a bionic hand and Anakin stick on it. Like, seems kind of strange to me. Feels like a misplay, but and if it was an accident, it's really hard to say let's revert, because this is a pretty important game. So alright, so he loses Luke of the Master variety, V style, and puts this stick down, then the hand, then the character. So I would wager he has another one. He probably has another one. I think we're going to see Master Luke again. Oh wait, no. Wait. Puts Master Luke. Puts Luke's bionic hand on last pile. Okay, so he put the stick last. He can retrieve right now. Okay, so he's going to retrieve the stick. If he saved the swap, he could swap bionic hand to the bottom and then retrieve Luke, because he has limited actions in his move phase. So, and then Bill moves Vader over to the only battleground site and flips, and then does not take damage at Visage, so that's nice. The counts are 27 for Matt, 24 for Bill. 9 to 10, so it's very, very, pretty much even. Bill is behind slightly in damage, but regardless, I think, like I said earlier, getting a victory of plus 14 at this situation seems tough if you're trading like this. If you're trading 1 for 1s, 2 for 1s, It's going to be tricky to win by enough. I think Matt needs to establish space presence with a sand. And I know 100% that he looked at Bill's lists, so he knows that like there's a space package of Emperor, Tarkin, Shuttle. So in order to go to space, I'm sure that's why he's probably reluctant to go to space, is that he needs to have a sand first to just even bother going to space. But I think if he wants to win by 14, he's going to need to establish space presence and then start kicking him off that site so he doesn't keep taking that drain. But alright, so now we're looking at 24 minutes to 35 minutes. I don't think time's going to be an issue for either player. Leia, Rebel Princess comes down. I think that means Padme's coming down. I think that's the only way. Leia's blast rifle comes out. So Leia and Leia's blast rifle, you know, perhaps he has a 6 tracked. That's all he needs. There's Padme. Cancel Vader's text, which is nice if you plan on using Clash, or just you want to clear him. There's initiate. Okay, so we're fighting. He's shooting at Vader. I don't think he activated. Oh, he tracked a 7? I assume he tracked that, which is pretty nice. Or he just knew there were a couple of 6s and 7s in there, because he did see a 6, 2 6s in there. He did see 2 6s in there when he drew, and he drew a 7, so he knew that the destinies were high, and he did play the blaster from hand. I don't think he necessarily tracked that, but I think that he just knew there were a lot of high destinies, and he was going to clear them regardless. And I think you think like, oh, he might have you are beaten, but you might as well go for it. I still don't think that this is necessarily puts Bill in a bad position, because he can just clear both these guys with the stick, but that's assuming he's not gonna mess with Leia's gun. Or gonna miss with Leia's gun, which could be a real problem. If he doesn't have like an Inquisitor and then put the stick down and then Mara Jade or Vader, he needs like to have 2 weapons there if he's worried about the swing or the shot. So I assume that was trackable, but he drew it for Destiny. He drew it for Destiny like 2 turns ago. So, and he deployed. Oh no, he drew it for Destiny and then he paid. Yeah, Indestructible. Didn't he Wisa? I think he Wisa after that. I wish I could unlock this, or not make it. Alright, so we see Ninth Sister come down. There's Mara Jade. And I think we'll see the stick come out just because he needs to clear this. He's stacking a card with there are many hunting you now? There are many hunting you now. Okay, let's do this. So he draws Luke this for Destiny. That was on his opponent's turn. Then circulates. Oh yeah, I don't know. Sorry about that. Okay. So he's playing Seventh Sister with the stick and Mara Jade because he doesn't trust that he's not gonna miss. He did a damage, so he did not cancel Padme's tech, so he'll get the attrition bonus. Bill has 3 force left. 3 force. And then he's just drawing now. So he is sitting in front of these 2 characters and drawing. I think that's right. I think it's the right play. I don't know if you really want to lose both your characters and have a blank sight, especially because you're losing both your Mara Jades. Yeah. So he's activating 6 because he has something trapped. What is it he has trapped? Don't know. Played 4, paid 2, paid 1, 11, 12, 13. I'm not sure. I am not paying close enough attention to his actions, but he tracked something and he's taking that. It might be Mace Windu. I think it's Mace Windu. We haven't seen a whole ton of stuff, but and he activates 2 more, so that's to his 7. A force field would be very helpful here. It's not really about overflow at this point, it's about like if you have characters survive, because whoever, when when the dust settles, if someone has a character left, they're probably going to win the game. So there's a sorry about the mess. That's probably a sorry about the mess for that 7. And I'm guessing he hits the 7 sister. Don't see any other point. Did he hit not Mara? Oh, excuse me. Or hitting Mara. Okay, so run like run. So the next one's levitation. And then, yeah, levitation for sure, I think. He can just lay his gun. Mara too, I think. Okay, so Bill is gonna look for Gick for a monarch. The count, life force count is 25 to 20, but the hand size is 9 to 5, so it's a 1 card difference. There's Qui-Gon Jinn and a stick. So he's a pretty efficient hand. I haven't seen him draw a lot. He has been 3POing, so and he did track. So maybe that was the Qui-Gon he tracked. I think it was the Qui-Gon he tracked actually, because he did draw Qui-Gon for Destiny. And instead of tracking a mace, he had the stick in his hand, so he just took the Qui-Gon. He just said, that was dumb. I'm not sure why he said that, but so he played Qui-Gon, and he's passing. Interesting play. I think he said that because he would have to fight, and then if he was worried he was going to miss, if he missed, then he would lose 2 characters. I'm guessing he was not confident in his next Destiny, I think. Yeah, that's my guess. He wasn't confident that he would hit Mara with Leia's gun, because he would have to initiate. He would be down at 2 force. He'd pay one to fire and miss, and then Mara Jade hits Qui-Gon. If he goes for Qui-Gon, probably goes for Qui-Gon. Hits Qui-Gon, clears another character, and then now Bill has, 1 character to deal with. Oh, now he's snipering. So this is interesting. He activates 13 force and snipers. Who's his target? I'm guessing it's Leia, but might be Qui-Gon. Might be Qui-Gon. Bait out the blaster deflection. He hasn't been drawing a lot. Maybe I don't think he has a blaster deflection in his hand. But you could always bait it out. There's another dodge. Did he not pull that back in his hand? It doesn't matter who swings at. Unless he draws a 6 here, then he could have just gone for Leia. Nah, so that's a 4. But he did get rid of Another dodge. Man, dodge is such a good card. It's crazy. It is so much utility. It's nuts. And it's almost better as a lost interrupt. You can like pull it back, play with solo, play with watch your step. Ooh. So there is the shuttle. Interesting. He's going for Camino Shuttle. The Camino Shuffle. I don't know. So Emperor, he's debating playing Golden Rod. I think you can play it, right? Like, you have an extra shield. You definitely want to play aim high. So you have these two and aim high. It's only 2 force, I guess. But he could put Vader down though. If you put Tarkin, put Vader down. He's got 3 force in his hand. Are you really worried about getting beat down? I don't think so. He's tracking really well and finds that mace plus a stick. That would be kind of bad, I guess. But if we math it out and he runs away and he drains 3 and he drains 2, interesting. There's a first strike, so he's going to fight and let Mara Jade die. That way, if Leia's blast rifle hits, it doesn't really matter. Has a card been announced yet? A sticker book program token. A card has not been announced yet. Sticker book program token. What should we... oh, I'm also dumb. Bill also says, I am dumb. Well, you can't be that dumb. You're both in the OCS playoffs. So... Can you make... does it have to be... I'm going to ask, does it have to be an AI? Is it dodge? Should we pick dodge? It doesn't have to be AI? Or, sorry, a virtual card? It can be whatever. I think we should make it dodge. That's great. I want foil dodges in my decks. That sounds amazing. Oh boy, I don't understand that at all. Okay, yeah. So he plays first strike and then just passes with the character sitting in front of him. Not ideal. That's not ideal. If you're gonna just throw Mara Jade at them, okay. I mean, you're not throwing Mara Jade. He didn't throw Mara Jade. Mara Jade was sitting there. But if you're going to play first strike, it's assuming you're going to throw Mara Jade at them. And he didn't. He just passed. So that's not the greatest play. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that was all about. So, sticker book is dodge because it's been played like 4 times this game. I don't know what he did that for. Oh, that's why. Because Mara Jade isn't there. Leia says Mara Jade isn't there. I feel like he kind of saved himself. I guess he wanted to throw Mara Jade at. He wants to initiate battle, hit something, clear something else, Hoojix out, or Gick out, but he couldn't do that because Leia says, I don't see you. You're not here. Yeah. So MHT said it was dumb because you can't attack Mara. And then Bill said that was dumb because he can't attack them. But that's kind of okay. If he plays a character, it's the difference of like attacking when he has a hand and attacking when he doesn't have a hand. Because he only has 3 cards, so like you're thinking, okay, he doesn't have a lot. I should try to kill some stuff. So you put like an Inquisitor down, and the Inquisitor lets you fight. And then you retrieve one, and they lose one. And you probably lose both characters. You definitely lose both characters. But like, if you had a Blast Reflection or another dodge, then it would have been a bad play. So, you don't know. But we saw Sorry About the Mess. That's true. It's the hotness, a new hotness. Circa 2000, 1999, 2000? I don't remember what year that was. It should say. It doesn't say. It says somewhere right here. 2001. So 22. 26. Ooh. 2026. Let's think. 2026. He's doing 1 more damage. So I think it takes him down to 24 to 17. He has used Yoda's retrieval. He used it because both sides got cleared, and he retrieved Anakin's stick. But Anakin's stick died again. Yeah. No, wait. I think Anakin's stick's in his death. He did use it, though. He retrieved Anakin's stick right here. It should have like a little, what phase this happened in. I think that'd be kind of neat, right? You could say like, oh, this was, or not phase, turn. What turn is this? So I was like, turn 3 at, 6, whatever, this action happened. That'd be hard though, because you do replays, it'd be a little weird. It's a lot of information to track. I guess it wouldn't be saved information, so. So we see Han training the Falcon down at Mustafar with Anakin. I'm not sure you even needed to play Anakin, but he does drain there for 2 because Vader's not on table. So his hand was HCF, Anakin, X. Maybe we do know what that other card is. Well, this makes it. No, I still don't. I don't know if this is terrible for Bill. I think he can still get the damage down below 13. We'll see. He's definitely going to attack here. And there's Matt drew 3 cards, and he's only saving 1. So this is probably the most important turn of the game, because he's saving 1 force, which means that he's either going to shoot with Leia's gun or play an interrupt. He doesn't get to choose, or he doesn't get both. He has to choose. So, and he drew 3 cards. So, depending on what those 3 cards are, the visage timer is also helpful for Bill to keep both decks low, which is what he wants. We see in 7th Sister, we see 9th Sister. The brother would be good. The 5th brother, I think. The one that is power +3. That would be good. We saw start with the mess, so I don't think he plays a combo. We already saw sniper. He's saving 4, so right now I think he has like a 4/4/5 something in his deck. Activating 11. I think it's going to be Vader. I think he's going to. So he's not playing You Are Beaten. Unless he plays Vader. He can still You Are Beaten if he's playing Vader. He doesn't care about retrieval right now. He only cares about doing damage. Matt loses levitation from the top, and I don't like sand. So that means he can just freely move in front of Han for the rest of the game. Okay, so we see 7th Sister. It's not ideal. Like, doesn't have clearing potential. But I think this is okay. He's going to lose 2 characters, but big deal. He's drawing at +2, which is super nice. He's doing damage. Like, he cancels text, so he doesn't have immunity, but he's expecting. It is. It's a massage. Like, massage. Anyways, so he's canceled Qui-Gon's text, so Qui-Gon doesn't have immunity. This is kind of maybe a bait to think, to maybe to imply that he doesn't have, or like to like kind of mess with his head if he has a blast reflection or not in his hand. I think he has a second one. I'm pretty sure he has a second more frightening, but we will see. You need to draw 11. You draw an 11 with 2 destiny to clear Qui-Gon +1, right? Like if you hit Leia and then you draw 2, it's Qui-Gon +1. Also, more frightening. more frightening adds with an Inquisitor. So the tricky thing is, like, you can only add one in sequence. So if he hits with Mara Jade and then he uses far more frightening, like, there's a chance that Leia just shoots the Seventh Sister and you can't use it anyways. And you'd probably much rather hit something than play more frightening. It's almost guaranteed he's just going to shoot something. I think he's probably good on hitting something. I mean, he's drawn pretty high. He did draw 2 maces in a row, but... So he goes for Leia. Maybe as a sniper combo. Sniper combo will be lit. Does a 5 and a 9th sister. So I think he has 2 4s left in his deck. He hits, and does he have the sniper combo? Nope, no sniper combo. So he might have you are beaten though. Probably should use Leia first. But you could you are beating Qui-Gon out. That's tricky. That's a tricky decision to make. So he draws a 6-4 swinging at 7th Sister, and 7th Sister is hit. Now does he you are beaten Leia? Does he have it? I don't think he I don't know. Does he use it even? He does want to cover Han. There goes Leia. There he goes for the shot on Mara. Is he going to hit? Force field. Saves 2 for force field. Nasty. Alright. That means he doesn't have a gig in his hand. There's no way he has a gig in his hand. That also means that the shuttle cannot move in front of Mustafar, which would be very helpful. But he could add with possibly, if he has more frightening. Does he have more frightening in hand? If he clears the site, I think he wins the game. So, not wins the game, but wins the match. No more frightening. So he draws a 4 for Destiny. That's a 6. He clears Padme and Leia. Qui-Gon 6 around, and is going to be draining for 2. So he's going to take a damage of 5 next turn. That's pretty brutal. It's pretty bad. It's still not over because Hunt Down V can do a lot of damage attacking every turn. So debating on what order to lose things. Oh no, he's drawing Destiny. Still isn't drawing Destiny. So he draws a 4. And he wouldn't have hit. He wouldn't have hit. He had a 4. Padme would have missed. Or not Padme, Leia. What am I even saying right now? Anyways, Leia and Padme are going to die. As is Mara Jade and 7th Sister. And the Emperor and Grand Moff Tarkin on the shuttle are going to be stranded because they can't move for free. So there's going to be a big drain of 3 and 2. This is not ideal for Bill. It's not ideal, I would say. Especially since he's not drawing. So he's got 3 cards left. And he's losing to his own Visage. Loses Vader's anger from hand. It's going to be tough here. Really, the MVP of this game was his blast rifle. Just spiking everything. He hit everything. Hit Vader. Hit Inquisitor. Well, there is one more thing to consider. Matt's timer is at 6 minutes. Bill's is at 23 minutes. So Matt needs to probably stop using up his timer. And it's going quick. Now it's at 5:50. I mean, he's thinking hard. 5:40. He really needs to move. Especially in a winning position. Should probably do some stuff. Feels really bad if you lose on time here, especially if you're winning. So, I'm wondering if he's debating like reinforcing Qui-Gon. I mean, he hasn't even activated this turn yet, so reinforcing Qui-Gon. Does he need to run it? Does he need to block the drain? I mean, is the math not add up? 5-2, the math should add up. Like, I think 5-2, you win, but especially when you're not paying for drains. So there's the drain of 3. He loses Enforcement and Farm of Writing and Vader from his deck. And then he's draining 3 at Mustafar because it's an extra icon because of Anakin. Just kind of nasty. So it's 6-2. I was incorrect. Peaks for Communing. I just don't know what he's thinking about. Like, what is he thinking about? Put a guy down? You have 3 cards in your hand. Like, I would just... You can't draw at this point too much, right? You need to stay at 14, I think. The last spots are very close. They were like... It was in the hall. So they were talking about it. I think it was like 27 to something, 27 to 23 or 14, something like that. So he just skips all the way through to move phase. And he's drawing. So he's drawing 1, 2, now he's sitting at 16 force, 15, in reserve deck, so he's winning by 2 at this moment. Winning by 1, he drew 1 more. And he recirculates and takes the damage. So this is a Luke Jedi Knight, or Luke Skywalker Last Jedi from hand. Bill activates all of it. Now Matt's down to 3 minutes. So we're looking at a tight game. I did not think that a timer would get down to this low, to be honest. And you know, every time he does a communing peak, it takes 5 seconds, so it takes more. 7. There's a drain of 2. Now Bill is 100%. I think he'll probably play a character, or maybe not, and just move in front of him. And now we're looking at a drain of 3 to a drain of 2. And it's getting down to the wire, right? It's going to get down to the wire. Because he's just going to keep moving in front of him. He can draw 3 freely. He knows his sand's gone. And, you know, raw math, we got 11 to 18. And if you're doing 3 damage versus 2 damage, you know, like, you're okay. You're okay. That is wild. He plays Insane Isard to the upper chamber of the Sith Temple on Malachor. And then he moves over to Mustafar. Man, he's gotta have a Hujix then. This is like the same amount of damage. It's a little bit of a strange play to me. Because if he fights you, you lose Yassane. Oh, he has 2 sands? Am I crazy? Didn't we see Sand die? Wow, that's unreal. It's unreal. Oh, he retrieved it. Okay, well, he retrieved with a walk thing. Man, sorry people. I missed that one. So he does have sand, which is very bad for Bill. Except it did bring him down to 11 force, which means he's losing technically. But the retrieval is going to help him. Wow, wild. So he's initiating battle with Rey and Qui-Gon. He's just going to draw Destiny to clear it. Draws a 7 that he put there. But he's not fighting in space. What? Oh my god! What a play! That's unreal. He fights and then he takes overflow and loses by less than winning. And TacoBill takes the game. What a play. Unreal. Holy cow. That's wild. What a finish. So he initiated battle with Rey and Qui-Gon and did a ton of overflow. And Bill, knowing he's down to 12 force, just took the damage. Wow. That was crazy. That's a big misplay. But when you're on the timer, when you're on the clock like that, it gets tricky, you know? It's hard. It's hard to, like, it's a really complicated game. So when the timer's pushing you to take actions, then yeah. That's gotta hurt. It's brutal. It's a brutal way to lose, but you know, I think Bill's got that old school vibe. He sees all those interesting lines when it comes to differential and stuff. So yeah. Crazy game. Well done by Bill, and it was a fun match to watch. So anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you go fill out the player surveys, and check out, there should be another, I believe there's another game tonight. I think there's another game tonight. It's later tonight. And there's a couple more games tomorrow. And then there's, I believe Steve and Justin are playing on Sunday. So Still a lot of OCS action coming in this week, so stay tuned. And again, thanks for watching. Have a good night.